Good, well, afternoon, I guess, just. It's Lynn here from the Learn English Network, and we're in the drama session. This is the drama session, and, well, we're actually in the flats, okay? So, if you know our Kitely Sim, it's next to the pub, and then there's the block of flats, and we're meeting there today. Any ideas why? Why would we be here today? Any ideas?
No, it is in the backyard.
Not the
No.
backyard. The backyard would be outside. Okay. So if you're looking at this as a building, what would you if you wanted to meet somebody here, if you were arranging to meet somebody here, where would you tell them to meet? What part of the building is this? We're on the ground floor, yeah? Oh, can't type today. So we're on the ground floor. We're by the lifts, which as you can see are not working. It says elevator because it's an American lift, so but we'd call it lift in the UK. But what part of the building is this? The ground floor, the entrance is here, the caretaker's room is here. But think about a hotel. You might think, if you think of a hotel, you could call it that as well. So
A hall, an entrance.
the hall, the entrance, yeah, the entrance would be down the bottom, down at the end of the corridor here. That's the entrance to the building, yeah. And then you've got the hallway and the corridor. But you could call this the lobby. The lobby.
But a lobby, isn't it inside, Lynn?
We are
In the
inside. We
Oh,
are
really? But
inside the building. Where are you?
Oh, it is not grass here.
No!
This is grass.
No, it's not grass.
Oh,
It's a
it's not.
carpet.
Oh, man, sorry. I thought it is grass.
Okay. So it's basically the space, okay, where the corridors lead from and to, usually near the entrance of a building. And in this, because this is apartments, you could call it the lobby. We sometimes say hotel lobby. Entrance is okay too, yeah? It's the entrance way would also do. The entrance way. Again, lots of complicated vocabulary for buildings. And it depends what kind of building you're in. You don't really have a lobby in your house. Okay, so this is more sort of something for public buildings. Okay? You could also call it the foyer. And again, that goes well with hotels. Hotel foyer, hotel lobby. Nice bit of French for you, April. The foyer.
A foyer, we said that in France. In French.
In French, yes. Okay, let's do a little bit of reading about that because I get the feeling that this is something you're not 100% au fait with. Let's do some reading. Bear with me a second whilst I put together a note card. Okay. So, April, you were the first to say hi to me. If you'd like to...
But have we finished the animals then, Lynn?
kind of, sort of. Okay, it will
Oh,
all become
okay.
clear.
Okay. Um, a lobby is a room in a building used for entry from the outside, sometimes referred to as a foyer, reception, or an entrance hall. It often is a large, vast room or complex of rooms in a theater, opera, concert hall, showroom, cinema, etc., adjacent to the auditorium. It is a repose area for spectators and place of venues, especially used before performance and during intermissions, but also a place of celebrations or festivities after performance.
Very good. Well done. So it's used in a lot of different ways, and it's used in a lot of for a lot of different spaces, depending on the building you're in. So because this is an apartment block, we might call it the
Are you
lobby or the
talking,
foyer.
Lynn?
Oh, yes, I am. Sorry. I am. Okay, so you can see it's used in a lot of different ways for different kinds of buildings and for different functions as well. Um, so it can be quite useful if you're meeting friends or if you're meeting people for an event, oh, I'll see you in the foyer, I'll see you in the lobby. Then start looking for the entrance way. Okay. Okay, let's have a look at the words. First of all, not Oprah. Oprah is Oprah Winfrey. Opera.
O- opera,
Opera.
opera,
Yes, opera. You go to the opera. Okay. And adjacent.
adjacent. What does it mean, Lynn?
Next to.
Adjacent.
Next to.
Next.
Not next, but next to. Adjacent to is standing next. Usually not for people, usually for buildings or for things. Okay. You'll find the building adjacent to. It just means you'll find it next to something. Okay. Okay. Shiny, if you would like to read the next paragraph, please.
Yes, thank you. Since the mid 1980s, there has been a growing trend to think of lobbies as more than just ways to get the gates from the door to the elevator, but instead as social spaces and places of commerce. Some research has even been done to develop scales to measure lobby atmosphere to improve hotel lobby design.
Very good. Well done. Bear with me. Okay, just the two words there. Not elevator, elevator. Love in an elevator. Okay, so elevator. Try it.
Elevator.
That's it. Yeah. It was much easier in English. Lift. And then atmosphere. Atmosphere.
Atmosphere.
That's it. Yeah. Okay, so would you consider this a particularly social space, do you think? Not really, is it? What could we do to improve
No.
this, to design it a bit better? Oh, it's very bare, isn't it? Any ideas? Okay, maybe I'm not sure what you meant by lounge, but maybe some plants would be nice. Yeah, a couple of plants rather than vases. A vase is something you put cut flowers in. Okay, but maybe we could put in a couple of house plants. Okay, so we'll put
Maybe
in.
a kind of a bench, but a beautiful one, really, not like the one in the garden.
So not like a park bench, but somewhere for people to sit,
No,
sort of a seating
yeah.
area. I'm not sure what seats I've got that would actually be beautiful. Beautiful seats. Yeah, you're not very. Let me see. I've got lots of benches, but I'm not sure if anyone would actually fit your. Let's put some benches out and see what you think. What about that one? It's quite a nice bench. How about that, April? In front of you.
Okay, for now. Okay, for now.
Well, it's quite ornate. It's quite pretty. I don't think you can sit on it, but again, we can double it up. I always like things to be nice and evenly balanced, but at least we've got somewhere to sit. You prefer a sofa? Okay, oh, interesting. Rather than a bench, a sofa. Because it's more
And some pictures on
comfortable,
the wall,
or I suppose we've got a black sofa here. Oh, not very. Oh, it's a bit blocky, but you tend to get more functional furniture in the lobby area. It has to be very robust. It has to be quite tough for people. So something modern. This is kind of in a modern apartment block, something like that. But at least somewhere for people to sit before they have to trek up the stairs because the elevator's not working. I'm not sure if you can sit there yet. No, you can't. They're not scripted yet, but there you go. What about that one? No. Okay, so I'll have to do some scripting there. Okay, so it's looking better already, isn't it? A bit more welcoming.
and some pictures on the wall.
Some pictures. Okay. Let's have a look. Okay.
And a mirror for the ladies.
A mirror. Well, difficult in Second Life and Kitely, I'm afraid, but we can see what we can do. Do some rearranging. There you go. So what kind of mirror, though?
Uh, just a mirror. No, no, I don't need a full body mirror. Just to see if my hair is okay. Not a bad
Okay.
hair today.
We'll put a mirror up then.
That's a nice one, yes.
Okay, good. Make sure it's actually upright. Okay, so nice mirror for April to check her hair. Oh, sorry, shiny. Make sure it's at the right height. I hate mirrors. Oh no, that's too high. You won't be able. You'd be able to just about see the top of your head there, April. Let's just lower it down a bit. There you go. Oh yeah, that's quite pretty. Okay, so that's a bit nicer. So, April, if you would like to read the next part of the text. Water
Okay.
supply. Not normally in the lobby, no. Maybe if it was a business or office space, you might have some kind of water. Can't think of the word. What do we call it? Not a fountain. Water dispenser for visitors to help themselves to water. Is that what you meant, Shiny? A water cooler? Something like that? We could have a water cooler. Why not? Let's be very welcoming and have a water cooler for visitors. I'll put it down here. Oh, no. Next to the sofa. Is that what you meant, Shiny? Yep, okay, so there's a water cooler. People can get a bit of refreshment whilst they're waiting. Okay, so April, are you ready to read?
Yes. Many places that offer public services, such as a doctor's office, use their lobbies as more of a waiting room for the people waiting for a certain service. In these lobbies, if it is common for there to be comfortable furniture, such as couches and lounge chairs, so that the customer will be able to wait in comfort. Also, there may be television sets, books, and or magazines to help the customer pass time as they wait to be served. That's not really what we have, Felin, because there is there is never comfortable. The furniture that is plastic things that crack when you sit or you move. No couch, no lounge.
Yes, that's often the case, especially at the doctor's. As I went to the doctor's this morning, and okay, they were closed, but I know what furniture they have in there. And you're right, they're those horrible plastic chairs, and they're not. They don't want people to stay. That's why they don't want to make it too comfortable. But I have been to places. My dentist, for example, he's got really comfy chairs in the waiting room, in the waiting area, and there's always magazines and things to read available as well. Yours are good, Shiny. In what way? What do you say, hours? What do you mean? Your doctors or your hotels?
I mean, in Japan,
Hmm.
uh, you can wait for the doctor in a comfort, comfy place. I mean, comfortable sofa, and they offer you water cooler. I mean,
Okay.
the atmosphere is just like coffee shop.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, they, I mean, nowadays the clinic has become different than before.
Aren't they worried that people will just go there to have a cup of coffee?
No, I think that they will, you know, tell you this is for our customers, our patient, not for you.
Yeah, I would hope so.
And they offer they I mean they will put the how to say the new is magazine. How to say that?
They'll put out the latest magazines. The latest rather
Yes,
than, yeah, magazines.
yes,
Sounds nice, doesn't it, April? Yes, absolutely.
yes.
Same here, April. Old magazines, often with bits missing, where people have cut out the crossword or some special offer.
And kids will have a place to play toy or watch video for waiting their parents or
So, a play area.
yes.
Nice. Oh, it sounds lovely. I think I want to go and be sick in Japan.
Yeah, our there is always a television on the wall, but it's always too high. If you want to watch it, you have to. I got a neck pain
Ah,
when I watched it, and there is nothing to see actually normally.
okay, we've got a funny word for that. You have to crane your neck. Now, I'm just going to check the spelling of crane as a verb. Because I'm not sure, but I think I'm right. Yeah, yeah. If you have to stretch to see something, if you have to stretch your neck, we say you have to crane your neck to see it. You can even watch a movie while you wait. Well, what if you get called and you haven't finished the movie? What would happen if it's your turn and no, no, hang on, I've just got 10 minutes of the film to watch. Exactly. You would never be able to finish it. No, I'd hate that. I'd hate that. They should have cartoons or short things on, 10-minute long little dramas or something. Okay, so
Is it on
oh
demand?
yeah, yeah, April.
Is it on demand film? Because if you come in the middle of the movie, it is not so nice. I want to watch it from the beginning, so I
Exactly.
will come here.
So, when would you like to make an appointment? I don't know. When does the film start? Okay, next bit then. I think it's your turn, Shiny. So, Shiny, there's your text.
Thank you. Super tall skyscrapers can often have one or more of what is known as a sky lobby, an intermediate floor where people can change from an express elevator that stops only at the sky lobby to a local elevator which stops at every floor within a segment of the building. Usually a foyer is a large, specially designed hall, but sometimes it's a corridor surrounding the main hall. It is furnished and big enough to enable spectators to stroll, get together and relax. Foyers are commonly adorned with artworks, permanent or temporary exhibitions related to the activity of the institution, and a refreshment room or buffet. Moreover, the foyer can be the main place of some events such as vernissage, meetings with the artists, actors, benefit, etc.
Very good. Yes, well done. Okay, that last word's a really difficult one. It's vernissage. Vernissage. It's basically private viewing of artwork, that kind of thing, private exhibition. And a lot of the banks do this kind of thing. They'll open up their lobby, they'll have private invitations going out, and they'll invite the good and the great to a vernissage. Again, another borrowed word from the French. Let's have a look at the individual words. Skyscrapers, to scrape the sky. They're very tall buildings to scrape. Okay, so skyscrapers. Scrappers would be with a double P.
Skyscraper.
Scraper.
Skyscrapers.
Better, you're getting there. Scrape rhymes with ape. Long A sound. So can you say ape?
Ape.
Scrape.
Scrape.
Scraper.
Scraper.
Skyscraper.
Skyscraper.
Perfect. Well done. And we've got another long A problem. Elevator.
Elevator.
That's it. Good. And then the foyer. It's A at the end. Not foyer, foyer.
Foyer.
Yeah, now we say foyer, it's a bit posh, but because it comes from the French, okay, you get that A sound. Then the next one, spectators. Again, that long A. Spectators.
Spectators.
Yes. Now we talk about spectacles. So we have got another word for glasses is spectacles, but spectator. Okay, people viewing something. And the last one, buffet.
Buffet.
Yes. Okay, any questions? No? Okay, then April, if you'd like to finish off for us.
Okay, thank you. A foyer in a house is usually a small entry area or room by the front door. Other public rooms, such as the living room, dining room, and family room, typically attach to it, along with any main stairway. It was initially intended as an airlock, separating the fireplace heated rooms from the colder in winter front entrance, where cold air infiltration made for cold drafts and low temperatures. It is commonly used for outer garment and umbrella storage for both residents and guests. The word foyer comes from the French language and means the place where the fire is kept. Given its French etymology, it should always be pronounced foyer, as the trailing R is silent. Foyer.
Very good. Foyer, yeah. Foyer. And you get a smiley there for separating. To separate, yeah. And separating.
Yeah.
I know. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't go there. Okay, so it's quite a versatile space, actually, the lobby. But it's words you might come across travelling and being told where to go in places, where to meet, etc. Okay. But usually in my house, I wouldn't say, we don't have a lobby or a foyer anyway in my house. I have a hallway, a small, we call it the small hall or the entrance hall. It's just a tiny little square But we do have a place for coats. Now, what do you need if you're going to provide a place for people to leave, for visitors to hang their coats? What do we call it? Garderobe. No. Nor the we don't usually find a wardrobe in a foyer, but you might find somewhere for you to hang your coat. Don't think I've actually got one. Thought I might have, but I often, as you know, um, okay, so you might have a coat hook. I don't think I've got one in this inventory. It's probably in my inventory for Second Life. Closet, again, that would be something you'd find in a house, but generally when you're visiting somewhere, a big building, they might say, oh, hang your coat on the hook. Okay, hang your coat on the hook. Okay, and you can get some very fancy places to hang your coat.
Yeah, is it a cloakroom, Lynn?
Cloakroom, again, yes, if you're that can also be confused with like the toilet, the cloakroom. If you're going to hand your items to somebody, say at the theatre, they'll have a cloakroom. I suppose because people used to wear a cloak to these things, and then you get a ticket in exchange. But you can also be confused if you ask for the cloakroom, they might think you want the toilet as well. Okay. But in a hotel, you could use the cloakroom to leave your luggage if you're not ready to book. If they're not ready to book you in, you could say, "Oh, could I leave my luggage in the cloakroom?" But also a coat room. Okay. But in British English, a cloakroom is often a euphemism for the loo. Okay. Yeah, I know. A coat room, maybe, but again, that kind of indicates that somebody's going to give you a ticket for your coat so that you can then claim it when you come back from the concert or from the gig, and you want your coat back, you go to the coat room. But generally, just a hook or a coat stand. Yeah, so you've got a coat hook or a coat stand. Yeah, definitely not got a stand for my coats here. I was sure I had one. I was sure I had one. I will have to go hunting around. I'm sure there's one somewhere in one of the pubs. I'm positive I've got a coat stand. But never mind. Oh, Reem is online. Okay, let's call Reem over. I have got to finish on time today, but never mind. see if she's able to hear us when she arrives. Okay, so the next couple of weeks we're going to look at a little skit, a little play. We'll be carrying on with the pet vocabulary in ESL vocabulary, April. Okay, you asked about the animal vocabulary, but we'll be carrying that on in the Friday session. Okay. Hi, Reem.
Have you finished? And you haven't finished last Friday because I wasn't here.
No, we haven't finished last Friday. No, not at all. We're going to talk about exotic pets in ESL vocab, but you should be able to view it in YouTube. It should be viewable in YouTube. Probably, I'll try and get it made public today. Okay. Okay, so
thank you, Lynn.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a note card with you, and this note card is the beginning of an episode of Friends. Not Friends, sorry, Big Bang Theory. Okay.
May I ask you a question? Airlock, an airlock. What is that?
Yeah. In this case, it's like an airlock is usually you'd find it in a submarine or in a space station. You find an airlock somewhere that stops air escaping from the main part of body of the ship or body of the station. Okay, so that would be a typical airlock. Here what they're talking about is it's a gap to stop all the heat escaping to the outside. So it's used like a bit of thermal insulation, really. It's from the old days when people heated their homes room by room. So you had one room that was cosy and warm, but then if you had to go elsewhere in the house, you'd have to go down this airlock, which was get colder and colder until you got to the next warm room. It's a little bit old-fashioned because nowadays, of course, people have central heating, but it's still nice, I think, to have a hall. I like having a hall. I don't like coming off the road or off the street and straight into the living room or straight into the kitchen. I like to have an entranceway, an entrance hall. Somewhere you can hang your coat, put the dog's muddy, wipe the dog's muddy paws, put your Wellingtons, that kind of thing. So Reem, can you hear us? Can we hear you? Hi Reem.
Hi Liam, hi everyone. I can hear you.
Good. Okay, you'll have to watch the video to catch what we've been talking about. We've been learning about entranceways, lobbies, halls, etc. So, but you'll have to watch the video to catch up. I'm going to share a note card with you, okay? Which I was just meant to be doing, but I got distracted by April. April, you do distract me. So let me just do a new folder for this, and it will be rename it. What shall I name it? Okay. And create a new note card, and that will be just see. Okay, so I'll just share it with you. Let me know when you receive it, okay? Okay, so you can see we've got 5 characters, but there are only 4 of us. It's always a bit of an issue, but I'll take 2
Halloween,
parts. Sorry, April?
Halloween party.
Yeah. Well, it's that time of year again, isn't it? But it's very short. It's just the introduction to an episode where they meet up in the lobby. So there's a bit of chit chat, and then they start talking about a Halloween party. Okay? So quickly read through it. Ask me if you have any questions about any of the text. Okay, so do you all know the Big Bang Theory? Do you know the characters in the Big Bang Theory? Yeah? Do you like it, Shiny? Nerd story. It is a bit nerdy. There's a brand new series on at the moment, which I'm thoroughly enjoying. But this is right at the beginning, when before we really get to know the characters, before they get to know each other. Okay. April, do you ever watch it?
No.
Okay, that's all right. You don't have to. But one thing we learnt in this particular episode was paintballing. Do you all know what paintballing is? Have you ever been paintballing? Who can
It's
describe it?
with gun, right? You shoot somebody with paint, isn't it?
That's right, yeah. Instead of, you have these guns, special guns, that work under pressure, but instead of shooting bullets, you shoot pellets of paint. Paint pellets. Have any of you ever been paintballing?
Yes, but it is not with a real paint. It was oh no, it was a laser
Oh my
shooting.
goodness, really? You've been
Laser
laser?
shooting, yeah.
You are so modern. I've never done either, but my nephews and nieces, they've been paintballing, and it's my problem with paintballing is it's messy and it hurts. I've heard that when the paint pellet hits you, it actually hurts and you can get bruised, so it doesn't appeal to me. I'm a wuss. Reem, have you ever heard of paintballing?
Oh, my friend is here, so I have to go, Lynn.
Oh, okay, April. Well, we'll be doing this next week. I just wanted to introduce
Okay.
you to it for this week, but hopefully
Okay. Yeah.
hopefully you'll be able to join us next week. If not, don't worry. But I'll see you later. Thanks for coming. Thanks for taking part. Bye. Have a nice time with your
Thank you.
friend. Bye bye. Don't forget to log out. She might end up forgetting to log herself out. Oh dear. We'll leave her here if she does. Okay. So, Reem, can you hear me? Have you ever been paintballing? Have you heard of it as a sport? Oh, I'm not sure if Reem can hear me either. Reem, can you hear me?
It was only the postman.
Oh! Welcome back. Well, you'd forgotten to log yourself out. We were going to just leave you here, I'm afraid. I hope he bought you something nice. Okay. Oh, you can't speak. Okay. Oh, that's not good for a drama session. You really need your voice for drama. Okay. But you can type, maybe? Have you ever heard of paintballing? Oh, I put paintballing. That was a Freudian slip. No? Well, there's a lot of rules for paintballing um, because it's like most sports. And a lot of safety equipment that you have to wear. And there's parts of the body you're not allowed to shoot at. You're not supposed to shoot at people's heads. And you're only supposed to shoot people in designated areas. So there's a lot of rules applying to it. But one of the things that's a common recurring theme in The Big Bang Theory is these paintballing competitions. And they say in the text, if you notice, I'm hoping you know what this means because nobody's asked. They say, "We really suck at paintball." What do you think that means, Shiny?
They were shot. So
Yeah, there were shots. But what does we really... If you suck at something, what does it mean?
terrible.
Yeah,
They were shot a lot.
they were shot a lot, yeah. They lost. It means they lost. They're not good at it, okay? We really suck at paintball. Okay, and here, after Penny asks them, "Did you have a nice time?" Again, another reference to the paintball competition. If you consider being fragged by your own troops fun, do you know what that means? Oh, okay. Do you have to go? Say hi.
April said her friend was there, so I said no. Okay, forget it.
Okay. I'm completely confused now. Okay, it's an interesting word to be fragged, to frag someone, and it's an American term, and it used to mean um, to deliberately kill an officer with a hand grenade. Very specific, but in this context, it just means to be beaten by, to be killed by. Okay.
But why your own troops funding? So what does it mean? Is that two sides of two groups maybe who fight to each other, or is that
Well, that's the
no?
context in this context. They are talking about the other side, but the word itself. Okay, and remember this is being used as slang now. The word itself came from the idea of killing your commanding officer with a fragmenting grenade. That's where the frag comes from, a fragmenting grenade. Okay. that it's complete slang, and it comes from something that's really quite it's quite horrible, really, isn't it? Horrible word. Okay, and then Penny invites them to. She says, "I'm having a party on Saturday, so if you're around, you should come by." So it's like an invitation, yeah, very informal invitation. I'm having a party, rather than say, "Would you like to come to my party?" Which would be something maybe a 5-year-old would say. "Oh, I'm having a party. Would you like to come? Or do you want to drop in? Or you might want to come by." Okay? And then Howard asks, "A boy-girl party?" And that's exactly what you were saying, Shiny. They're nerds. As in, will there be boys and girls there? And it's only later she mentions they're really not keen. When they hear there'll be girls there and dancing, you can see that they're becoming less enthusiastic. But then she mentions Halloween. And why do they get excited when she mentions Halloween? What do you do at Halloween? At a party for Halloween?
Frighten
Well,
people.
you not make fun, have fun, but that could go for most parties. You can have fun at most parties. Yeah, there might be an element of fear and frightening people, April. Yeah, that's true. But what do you normally do to frighten people? Yeah, to make mischief. Yeah.
Disguising?
Yeah, not disguising, but you dress up in
Monster.
dress up as
Or
monsters, to dress up as something, yeah, or to dress up in costumes. And Howard says, as in costumes, and that's something else we learn about these characters over the series. They love dressing up. They love Comic-Con. And they've got lots and lots and lots of different costumes. Hero costumes, superhero costumes, monster costumes. Shiny's already been dressing up for Halloween. And then Leonard says, "Is there a theme?" What do you think he means when he says, "Is there a theme?"
a special topic.
Yeah, is there a theme? Some parties have themes, especially costume parties, dressing up parties, fancy dress parties. We sometimes call them fancy dress parties. So sometimes if you were to have a fancy dress party, you could make it about pets. You could make it about wild animals. You could make it about Vickers and tarts. You could, just a few. You could make it about a different part of history. So Elizabethan or the French Revolution. You can actually think up a theme for a party. But of course the theme here is Halloween. And then they go into the sort of themes they might want to dress up as. And she's absolutely fine with it. She's just, any costume you want. Okay, anything. You can see she's getting annoyed towards the end. Okay, so you've got the text. Have a look through it. If you have any questions, ask on the forum. And we'll start reading through it, playing through it next week. If any of you want to come in paint splattered costumes at the beginning, then please do, but there's no requirement to do so. You don't need to dress up for it. Okay. Any questions before I disappear?
What is the pronunciation and the meaning here? Anime?
Anime. I say anime.
Anime. Ah,
Yes, it's anime is a specific kind of cartoon, usually a cartoon, but it's basically Japanese. In fact, Shiny probably knows more about this than me. It's often there are films, there are books, there are TV series, and it's a very stylized kind of cartoon. A little. Who's your favourite anime character? Shiny.
No, I watch what my family watched. I mean, in the moment, uh, present. No, I don't have. I think I don't have any
No, I mean
preference.
I'm not an anime expert, but if you notice here, April, you asked about how to pronounce it, and this choice, anime or anima. I kind of say both to be honest because I'm not an expert, I guess. Depends on my. But it's really popular in Asia. I mean, super popular, and in Germany you can get old specialist comic book stores have these anime um, cartoons. They don't like the word cartoon. In fact, it's a bit of a snobbery thing. But Netflix, they're creating their own anime series because it's so popular.
Yes, because I think it's kind of including a part of Japanese culture.
It is.
So they separate the two words.
Yep, absolutely. It's got a very distinctive style as well, and some of the content is extremely adult. A lot of people confuse cartoon as like Tom and Jerry, Bugs Bunny, kiddie stuff, but anime can be extremely adult, very violent, lots of yeah, adult content, shall we put it? Okay. I've watched a couple of anime films, usually in the original with subtitles, but they tend to be the classic Japanese anime. Um, and to be honest, sometimes I'm a bit lost with the plot. There was one where everybody was turning into pigs um, in this particular sort of fun fair. It was very strange. I think Dragon Ball is probably the most famous TV series. And Pokemon kind of comes from anime as well. Okay, yeah, when you hear it, you kind of know, yes?
Do you
from 20 years ago, 25 years ago, Dragon Ball. Ball. I have a lot of the comics books of it.
Ah, okay. Yeah, you probably do because you had a little boy. Absolutely. Sorry, Shiny, you were saying?
thank you. I was uh uh think I was thinking that if you know the author of Dragon Ball, when he drew this comic book in his teens. Actually, he's 18, and he suddenly became famous and a billionaire
Wow.
in his teens.
Good for
That's
him.
it.
Excellent. I love that kind of story. I'm trying to find the name of the one that I watched because I'm sure it's really famous, but uh, Spirited Away, it was called. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Okay, I was just trying to find the name of the film that I saw. In English, it's called Spirited Away. But I like the idea of, I love it when young people do something creative and then get the financial reward for it. That's great. Thank you for sharing, Shiny. I didn't know that the Dragon Ball creator had done it as a, you know, as a teen, but good for him. But the film I was thinking of is called Spirited Away. If you get the chance to watch it, it's very strange, but it's good. It's very good.
Agree.
Have
I
you
like
seen
that
it?
film.
Yeah? Have you seen it?
I saw it several times because it run this film every year on TV.
Yeah, I know it's a classic. We tend to only get on some of the art TV channels, we get this kind of what we call world cinema, and whenever possible, I watch them, or I record them and watch them when I've got time to sit and read the subtitles. But it was a really strange experience. My husband kept coming in going, "What are you watching?" But it's a wonderful story. It's very, very different. It's very different. I learnt about Japanese bathhouses in that film. Okay, so we will leave it there for this week. As I say, you've got your scripts. Any questions, ask on the forum, and I will see you next week, hopefully. So take care. Oh, well, I'm a big fantasy fan, Shiny. I love fantasy. But that was very different fantasy for me. It was, yeah, there were some references to it that completely I didn't get, obviously. But I thought it was a wonderful, wonderful film. Okay, thanks for coming. Thank you. Bye. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye, Reem. Don't forget to log out.
Bye bye everybody.
Bye, bye, April.